Welcome to Plot Twist, your place for quick summaries of movies with jaw-dropping twists. Let's dive in. The movie begins by showing a famous Japanese school, Sanwei, where all the students gather for a meeting to mark the start of the new school year. The principal steps onto the stage to welcome them, explain the school rules, and encourage the new students to succeed, saying, "Let's start off without any threats. Follow the rules and regulations, or else you'll be transferred to Class E, and when that happens, you won't know what will hit you." We learn that Class E is isolated from the rest of the school, located far away on a mountain. It's infamous for being the place where all the failing and outcast students are sent. The students in this class feel embarrassed by the principal's words because the other classes bully them and view them as inferior. After the meeting ends, the students of Class E head to their classroom feeling dejected and worthless. They notice that someone has written "end" on their classroom, symbolizing their failure, as the class consistently scores the lowest and always fails. When they enter the classroom, they are shocked to discover that their new teacher is an alien. He introduces himself saying, "Before we begin, I destroyed the moon, so if you don't follow my orders, I'll destroy Earth too." The students are bewildered by his words, thinking it's a prank or a joke, and they don't take him seriously. Suddenly, a representative from the Ministry of Defense enters the room and confirms that the alien's claims are true. He reveals that the alien destroyed the moon, defeated all their soldiers, and plans to destroy Earth. The representative admits that all their attempts to eliminate the alien have failed. He then demonstrates the alien's abilities by attacking him with a weapon, but the alien easily evades the bullets due to his unnatural speed. To mock the representative, the alien sprays paint on his hair. The representative informs the students that their mission is to eliminate the alien as quickly as possible before he gathers his full strength and destroys the world. He stresses that this information is classified and known only to world leaders, urging the students to keep it a secret. The students are shocked, questioning how they, the weakest class, can possibly defeat an alien that even soldiers couldn't handle. The representative shows them special weapons designed specifically to harm the alien without affecting humans. The alien takes one of the guns, shoots himself in the arm, and his arm falls off in front of the students. The students are terrified by what they see, but the alien laughs and tells them that his arm will regenerate, and it does. The representative explains that the alien made a deal with the government. He won't harm the students as long as he gets to be their teacher for a year. He tells the students that they are the only ones who have a chance to defeat the alien and save the world. If they succeed, they will not only become heroes but also receive $10 million from the government to change their lives. The students are surprised by this offer and become motivated. Without hesitation, they attack the alien with the weapons provided, but he uses his speed to dodge all their attacks. Suddenly, a woman armed with various weapons enters the classroom. She is revealed to be a professional assassin who had previously failed to eliminate the alien. She decides to become a teacher for the class to train the students, redeem herself, and help them defeat the alien. The class is renamed the Assassination Classroom, and their mission is to eliminate the alien, who is also their teacher. The alien mocks them, challenging them to defeat him before they graduate. The next day, the students begin training seriously, determined to save the world. They brainstorm ways to find the alien's weakness and exploit it. During a lesson, the alien gives them a problem to solve. A student approaches him under the pretense of showing him the answer, but secretly hides a weapon behind his back to attack him. However, the alien anticipates this and grabs the student's hand, saying, "You need to be more creative and try unconventional methods." The student then executes a backup plan, revealing that he had planted a bomb made from the specialized weapons. He detonates it, thinking he has defeated the alien and won the prize money. However, the alien escapes the explosion with his speed and hides on the ceiling, changing his color to show his anger. He reassures the students that he will honor the agreement and not harm them, but warns them not to repeat the same method twice. He encourages them to think of new strategies to defeat him. The students set a trap for him during recess and manage to catch him. As they approach to finish him off, he escapes the trap and evades all their attacks. To punish them, logically, he assigns them an overwhelming amount of homework. The students feel frustrated and demoralized. The next day, a new student named Karma joins the class. The other students are intimidated by him, as he is infamous for being expelled from every school he attended due to his violent behavior and minor crimes. Karma approaches the alien, introduces himself, and extends his hand for a handshake. However, it turns out to be a trick, as he had coated his hand with materials from the specialized weapons. The other students are impressed by Karma's cleverness, recognizing him as the most skilled among them. They become excited to collaborate with him. The following day, Karma uses his combat skills to set multiple traps for the alien in an attempt to defeat him. However, he fails each time, and the alien mocks him, proving that Karma is still inexperienced and has much to learn about life. Feeling discouraged, Karma retreats to the mountain to think of new ways to defeat the alien. He recalls an incident from his previous school before he was expelled, where his teacher, "I work through problems, but you're still my student. I must take care of you and protect you because that's my duty as a teacher." Back to the present, Karma decides to use a new trick. Suddenly, the alien appears behind him. Karma asks, "What would you do if you knew one of your students' lives was in danger? Would you let them die or try to save their life?" The alien replies, "Of course I would save them because that's my duty as their teacher." Karma is delighted by this response and decides to use it against him. He jumps off the mountain while holding a gun, knowing that if the alien jumps after him to save him, Karma could take him down since they'd be close. But the alien is very clever and uses his power to create a large elastic net, saving Karma and bringing him back to the top of the mountain. He tells Karma, "That was a smart attempt, but it's still not enough to defeat me." Karma gets frustrated and vows that one day he will defeat him himself, then walks away. The alien laughs and says, "I'm looking forward to that day." The students are puzzled by his personality and can't understand why he acts the way he does. News reaches the military headquarters, and they feel disheartened because there seems to be no way to defeat the alien. Their hopes and future rely on the students. However, they discover his weakness, his concern for his students. They decide to exploit this to defeat him. The next day, they send a new student to the assassin's classroom, but it's actually an AI killing machine designed to target monsters, not humans. As soon as it enters, it starts shooting at them. Of course, the bullets don't affect the students, but the alien uses his speed to dodge all the attacks while continuing to teach the students. However, the students grow bored of his voice and the constant sound of gunfire. They're also annoyed by having to clean up the classroom from all the bullets on the floor. Because of this, they tie the machine with chains to stop its actions. The alien talks to the machine and convinces it to change its approach and cooperate with the students to defeat him. He gives it information about each student to understand their personalities and build relationships with them. The machine agrees and spends the night reading about them, deciding to become their friend from now on. The next day, it stops using its weapons and transforms into a mobile app on their phones so it can communicate with them anytime. The students are thrilled because now they can coordinate plans to defeat the alien. The machine informs them that a strong student will join the class today with a big chance of defeating the alien. They are surprised by this news. Suddenly, the student arrives, entering the classroom through the ceiling with a masked trainer. Everyone is shocked. The machine introduces the student as Tony, explaining that it trained with him and that he possesses extraordinary powers. Karma laughs upon seeing him, teasing him about remembering him when he was younger. But Tony approaches him, clearly angry, and shows that he could defeat him in less than a second, though that's not his goal. The alien arrives and challenges Tony to a one-on-one fight. The alien welcomes the challenge, agreeing to fight in a ring set up in the classroom. They decide whoever is thrown out of the ring loses. The fight begins, and Tony succeeds in cutting off the alien's arm in less than a second. The students are shocked by his strength. Tony notices that the alien has tentacle-like elastic arms, realizing he's not ordinary. The alien gets angry and changes color because his arm had just recently regenerated. He vows to make Tony regret his actions, but Tony doesn't give him a chance, using all his strength to cut off the other arm, declaring, "I will kill you." Everyone notices the alien's speed has decreased, Xazrania thinking he might lose. However, the alien laughs and regenerates his arm in less than a second, declaring he won't allow anyone to defeat him except his students. He uses his power to throw elastic fabric at Tony, successfully ejecting him from the ring. Thus, the alien wins the challenge. Tony is frustrated but admits defeat. The masked trainer takes Tony and leaves the school. At the end of the day, the students talk to the alien, asking why he's so determined to be their teacher. He refuses to answer, saying, "There's no point in knowing the answer since the world will be destroyed and you'll die anyway." They realize the only solution is to defeat him and save the Earth to learn everything they want to know. The alien suggests they hold a training camp during the break to help them become stronger and capable of defeating him. The students like the idea and agree. The alien uses his incredible speed to teach each student individually at the same time, making it seem like there are multiple versions of him. Meanwhile, the professional teacher also trains the girls in combat and weapon usage. The students become skilled fighters and weapon users, feeling closer to completing their mission. The next day, they return to school, only to find a new teacher waiting for them instead of the alien. He introduces himself saying, "I was a military commander, and I'll be responsible for your training to defeat the alien." At first, he pretends to be kind, bringing them gifts and food to gain their trust and obedience. The students naively thank him and decide to follow his training. He makes them run long distances around the school. One of the students feels exhausted, dizzy, and collapses. The teacher checks on her, and she asks to rest, thinking he would agree. But to her surprise, he refuses and even hits her. It becomes clear that he was a harsh military commander, known for his brutal training methods that no one could endure. The students witness what happened and try to defend their classmate. At that moment, the alien arrives just in time, intervening and demanding the teacher stop. The alien offers to fight him instead, saying, "If you want to fight someone, fight me." The students are innocent. The teacher refuses, claiming this is the only way to make them stronger and capable of completing their mission to defeat the alien. "Can't you see they're just a bunch of weaklings? I challenge any student in the class. If they can defeat me in a fight, I'll leave their class and walk away." The alien agrees to the challenge and chooses a seemingly weak and cute student, one everyone underestimates. He talks to the student, boosting his confidence, and says, "Use all the advice the alien taught you. Now is the time to apply it." Encouraged, the student grabs a weapon and prepares to fight the teacher. Everyone is on edge, wondering who will win. He attacks the teacher and, in less than a second, defeats him, holding him at gunpoint. The teacher is shocked by his speed and is forced to admit defeat, keeping his promise to leave. He leaves the classroom and walks out. The students are surprised by what happened. They rejoice and run to their classmate, lifting him up to celebrate. They all start to love and get closer to each other as if they were one family with the same goals. All this while the creature watches them from afar, pleased. He becomes eager to find out who among them can defeat him. He returns to the classroom to teach them a science lesson. A student approaches him and offers him a drink she made herself. The creature realizes there's poison in it, but drinks it anyway so as not to upset her. His face changes color, but he's unaffected. He tells her that this drink affects humans, not monsters like him. He offers to teach her how to make it properly so she can use it against anyone. Afterward, he asks them to try to catch him to improve their reaction speed. The students spend the whole day chasing him, but of course, he's faster than them. No one can catch or even get close to him until they grow tired and give up. They all gather in front of the classroom, where he gives them new advice. He tells them they must always have a backup plan to defeat him. He decides to show them his true power to compel them to listen. The atmosphere shifts as he speeds around the school at an incredible pace. When he lands, he creates chaos, turning the place into a battlefield. Everyone fears his extraordinary abilities. He warns them that he could destroy the school in less than a second, and that they must defeat him quickly, or he'll destroy Earth, leaving their fate uncertain. He leaves the classroom and informs them that for every test they pass, he'll select the top 5 scores to cut off a part of his body. This will weaken his strength and speed, making it easier for them to defeat him. He proves his claim, and they witness what happens. The students are astonished by his words and realize he's doing this to motivate them to study and succeed. They decide to follow through, helping one another with all the subjects. They prepare for the exams together. The creature admires their enthusiasm and decides to reward them. He waits for one of the students outside the school and invites her to the field. She happily agrees, and he carries her, using his speed to fly around the world. In less than an hour, he circles the entire Earth. He does the same for the rest of the students to ease their exam stress. He lifts their spirits by taking them to their favorite places. The students are thrilled by his attention and take pictures everywhere they've dreamed of visiting, keeping them as memories. Exam time arrives, and the students do well, achieving high scores. They remind him of their agreement, and he reluctantly agrees, asking them to set the date they want. The students are happy and decide to carry out the plan during the break. They use the time to collaborate, agree on a strategy, and prepare the tools they'll need for the mission. On New Year's Eve, the students gather to celebrate together. They watch the fireworks as if they were one family. They have a joyful time, growing even closer. The creature is with them, happy that they're united. The next day, they proceed with their mission. They prepare the weapons they'll use to finish him off. They bind his hands and legs with chains, getting ready to carry out their agreement and cut off his limbs. One of the students discovers his weakness. Water slows him down. They decide to use it against him to defeat him. They execute the plan, pouring a large amount of water on him. At the same time, 2 students attack him with their weapons. A massive explosion occurs, throwing all the students to the ground. The alien creature disappears, and they think they've succeeded in defeating him. But they're surprised to find he's shrunk in size and trapped himself inside a ball so no one can finish him off. He tells them he'll remain like this for a few days, or just one day if conditions are favorable. Suddenly, the students feel dizzy and many faint, collapsing one after the other without understanding why. Out of nowhere, the teacher who trained them earlier appears with a large number of soldiers surrounding the students. He informs them that he used a rare virus and that the fainted students will die within a day if they don't receive the cure. He demands they hand over the alien creature or he'll let them die. The students refuse and an envoy steps in to help them. But suddenly Tony, whom the creature had defeated earlier, appears, using his strength, wanting revenge to prove he's stronger. However, Karma takes the creature and escapes, trying to protect him. Tony chases him, determined to finish off the creature. Everyone is after the government reward. Karma is forced to climb a tall tower to escape, but Tony uses his claws to follow him, cornering him. They fight and another student tries to help Karma by taking the creature to escape with it. But Tony catches up, using his strength to defeat the student in less than a second, threatening to kill him unless he hands over the creature. The student refuses to abandon his teacher, feeling the end is near. He decides to defend him to his last breath, even if these are his final moments. Suddenly, it starts raining. Tony is surprised as water weakens his abilities. Karma seizes the opportunity and defeats him just in time. Afterward, they return to their classmates to help them, but they find the teacher has kidnapped one of the students. He threatens to kill her unless they hand over the creature. The student fears for her and is forced to surrender, kneeling on the ground and begging him to let her go. He gives him the ball containing the creature, and the teacher rejoices, beating the student and stepping on his face, thinking he's won. But when he opens the bag, he's shocked to find an ordinary ball. He realizes they tricked him. Suddenly, all the students appear behind him, revealing it was a plan to distract him. They manage to gather their weapons and fight him, successfully capturing him. They trap him and his soldiers in cement, breaking their bones, and retrieve the virus cure to heal the other students. Everyone celebrates their success and thanks the creature for his advice, as he taught them to always have a backup plan. Suddenly, planes and army soldiers arrive, taking them and the creature to the Ministry of Defense. The envoy tells them they've succeeded in their mission and managed to capture the alien creature, saving Earth. He informs them they've decided to bury him in a cement vault to eliminate him before the day ends, and he returns to his original form. They show them a video before the execution of the sentence, and the creature here is blaming me. I am proud of you. You were able to do what the government couldn't. You succeeded in the test, found my weakness, and managed to get rid of me. He tells them that nothing makes the teacher happier than success. I am happy because I saw you in front of me excelling. I was once your teacher, and I am proud of that. Thank you for all the beautiful memories I lived with you. He bids them farewell and asks them to always remember him. The sentence is carried out, and the army announces that the alien creature has been destroyed. Everyone rejoices and celebrates without limits, except for the students in the class, who are saddened for their teacher. They remember their memories with him and the advice they learned from him. They all break down in tears, unable to bear the fact that they betrayed him. Suddenly, the creature appears behind them, handing them tissues to wipe their tears. The students are shocked to see that he is still alive. The creature laughs, saying he tricked them and that it was impossible for him to be defeated so easily. Don't worry, I will always be your teacher, he says, and asks them to train well so they can defeat him and earn the reward. Don't think that what happened was the end. The next term will be harder than before, he warns them. They learn from Tony that he has joined them and become one of their classmates. We see a flashback revealing that the creature was a friend of their former teacher. Before she died, she promised him that he would take care of her students. The students are happy with his words and decide to resume their attempts to defeat him. They grab their weapons and try to attack him as before, but of course they can't even touch him due to his speed. The creature decides to meet with each student individually to ask them what they want to become after graduation. Each student shares their dream of joining a specific college. At the same time, they try to defeat him, but as usual, no one can even touch him due to his speed and intelligence. He continues to give them advice to use against him. When it's the turn of the student who once saved his life, the student sits alone, refusing to meet with the creature. The creature senses something is wrong and talks to him, asking why he didn't come to the meeting like the others. The student replies, I'm different from the others. Each of them has a dream they want to achieve, but I still don't know what I want to be. The creature tries to comfort him, giving him confidence and telling him, you are talented and can notice things no one else does. You must use this talent for something good and discover your dream. Later, a military representative gathers all the students in the classroom and informs them that there will be a big festival at the school in a week. He tells them it will be the perfect opportunity to defeat the alien creature because there will be many students and the creature will be distracted. Additionally, there will be a hidden professional among them whose mission is to eliminate the creature. He asks the students to help and distract the creature until the mission is completed. After he leaves, the creature enters the classroom and tells them he's excited about the festival because students from other schools will be there. I'll organize competitions and activities among you, and I'll show them that you are better than them, he says, fully aware that the festival is a trap to defeat him. He encourages the students to take advantage of this opportunity and try to beat him. A week later, the festival begins, and students from everywhere join in, celebrating together. The creature disguises himself as a clown to welcome the guests. Meanwhile, the students try to distract him. The sniper takes advantage of the situation, attempting to shoot him while he's off guard. But the creature, with his speed, easily dodges the attack and disappears. The sniper is shocked and realizes the mission won't be easy. He continues searching for the creature everywhere. The students perform a play they had rehearsed, and the creature participates as their teacher. The students seize the opportunity to attack him during the performance, but as always, no one can touch him due to his speed. The sniper sees an opportunity and tries to shoot again. This time, he thinks he's got him, but the creature effortlessly dodges the attack, as if he wasn't even paying attention. The creature decides to teach the sniper a lesson. He locates him, suddenly appears in front of him, and takes his weapon. He brings the sniper onto the stage to play with him, causing the audience to laugh at him. Meanwhile, a gang takes advantage of the crowd to harass the female students and record them. However, Karma and the male students notice what's happening, locate the gang, and confront them. Each student uses the skills and lessons the creature taught them. Unfortunately, the gang has weapons and overpowers the students, deciding to finish them off. Luckily, the creature arrives just in time, appears before them, and declares, "I am their teacher. Anyone who wants to mess with them must go through me first." He punishes the gang, using his powers to defeat them all, saving the students. They thank him and continue enjoying the festival. At the end of the day, they return to the school, where a female student stands alone, asking the creature for help. He agrees, but it turns out to be a trap. She locks him in a room and pours water on him to weaken his powers. Suddenly, claws similar to his octopus-like appendages emerge from her head, and she attacks him. She tells him his end is near, but suddenly she feels a sharp pain in her head, collapses, and loses consciousness. The creature recovers and checks on her, but she refuses his help. She reveals, "I will never forgive you. I am the sister of the teacher you killed, and I promise I will kill you." She leaves the classroom, and the students, shocked by what they witnessed, ask the creature if her words are true. "Did you kill our teacher?" they ask. The creature replies, "I will tell you everything, but first we must bring her back. She also needs to know the truth, and we all must understand it." That night, the female student sits alone, recalling the flashback of what happened. She remembers visiting her sister in her lab, only to find her lying on the floor. She saw the alien creature as the last one with her sister. When she approached, she discovered her sister had tragically died and assumed the creature was responsible. She got angry and decided to take revenge on him. She found a syringe that had fallen to the ground, which would give her superpowers. She realized that if she used it, she would gain unnatural strength, and that's exactly what she did in order to go with them and seek revenge on the creature. As soon as she sees it, she uses her powers, revealing claws in her hair, and begins attacking it. The creature defends itself, killing her in the process, but only as a means of self-defense, as it had agreed with the students to distract her until one of them could stop her and try to bring her back to her normal state. They start implementing the plan, and to calm her down, they allow her to injure them with her claws. A fellow student, the knight, approaches her, hugs her, and feeds her raisins to soothe her. He confesses his true feelings, telling her that he has admired her for a long time. Their plan succeeds, and the student calms down, but she feels exhausted and faints. All the students rush to check on her. The creature notices a masked person watching from a distance. It follows him and asks who he is and what he wants. The masked figure begins to laugh, telling him to enjoy the time he has left because his end is near. He removes his mask to reveal his face. The creature is shocked upon seeing him. It becomes clear they know each other. The masked figure challenges him, claiming he can defeat him and expel him from the school. Later, the creature enters the classroom and waits for the students to wake up. He gathers them to tell them everything and reveal the truth. He begins his story. 2 years ago, I was a famous professional assassin. Everyone called me Shinigami, the Grim Reaper. There was no one like me. I was a young, handsome killer. Time after time, I defeated many criminals in a short period until I grew bored of my life and decided to turn myself in. However, the ones who captured me were a secret organization. They decided to experiment on me, taking me to an underground location that no one knows about. They started conducting tests to uncover the secret of my powers. The one overseeing these experiments was a mad scientist, the same masked man who had also experimented on Tony. To him, I was just a lab rat, and he didn't care about how I felt. There, I met your teacher for the first time. I learned she was the fiancée of the mad scientist and was tasked with monitoring me at night. But she was the opposite of him, kind and gentle. I noticed she worked as a teacher during the day and came to the lab at night to watch over me. I also saw that the psycho-scientist treated her badly and found out that she didn't love him. Her father had forced her into the engagement because she owed him a lot of money. I started talking to her, and we became friends. She told me about her class and how the students were considered failures and outcasts. Despite that, she loved them and believed each one had unique talents and potential. She wanted to help them regain their confidence. From that moment, I began to care for you all too. But after some time, the mad scientist intensified the experiments on me. As a result, I gained extraordinary powers and became almost alien-like. However, I was in constant pain, living in what felt like hell. The only person who understood me and eased my suffering was your teacher because she saw the good in me. Because of her, I fell in love with her too. We agreed to escape the lab and live peacefully together. One day, the mad scientist experimented on a rat in the same way he did on me. A year later, the rat died and exploded, causing massive destruction. The scientist realized the same would happen to me in a year. He decided to eliminate me before I could explode and destroy Earth. The teacher overheard his plan and came to warn me. I decided to use my powers to escape, and I destroyed the lab equipment they used for experiments. The mad scientist was furious and attacked your teacher for warning me. He vowed to capture her again at any cost. He started setting traps and mines to kill me. Your teacher sacrificed herself. Taking a blow meant for me to save my life. I was shocked by what happened. Her last request was for me to take care of her students, as they were innocent and had no one else in the world. I promised her I would. I decided to become your teacher in her place, teaching you for 1 year before my death. I did all of this for you because when you defeat me, you'll receive a huge reward that will change your lives. The students are shocked and moved by his story, realizing he is a victim like them. Throughout the winter, they reflect on his words, and none of them try to harm him anymore. They come to see him as a father and brother figure. When he returns to the classroom, one student suggests they work together to save the creature and prevent his death, thus saving Earth. They could use his powers for good and protect the world from evil. However, Karma refuses, insisting the creature must be killed. This divides the students into 2 teams, one in favor and one against. The creature hears their argument and suggests they fight each other, with the winner's plan being followed by the rest. Reluctantly, they agree to his proposal. They gather in the schoolyard and fight in front of all the students. Both are skilled fighters, equally matched, and neither can defeat the other. However, Karma's experience gives him an edge. He manages to knock the other student to the ground and beats him until his face is broken. He grabs a weapon and approaches him to force him to admit defeat. But the student rushes toward Karma and hugs him, giving him a chance to execute his plan to repay their teacher. Karma is moved by his words, trusts him, and drops the weapon, admitting defeat in front of everyone. He allows the student to win so he can carry out his plan to save their teacher by any means possible. The creature is overjoyed to see the students united again after their differences. They come together to brainstorm a solution and return to the classroom, pretending to try to defeat the creature while the military watches them. Later, the robotic student informs them that the creature's chance of exploding is only 1%. Despite this, the military refuses to let him live. She also reveals that the military is working on a massive laser weapon capable of destroying anything. They plan to use it to eliminate the creature before the explosion occurs. The student is surprised by their words, and they realize they don't have much time left and must find a cure as quickly as possible. They head to the laboratory of the mad scientist, who used to conduct experiments there, hoping to find the cure. They begin executing the plan, with the robotic student successfully hacking the main device to retrieve the data. They return to the classroom and start analyzing everything, trying to come up with a cure to save the creature from exploding. Meanwhile, the army succeeds in developing a powerful laser capable of defeating the creature. Days pass as the students continue their experiments, refusing to sleep or rest until they finally succeed in inventing the cure. They are overjoyed at the prospect of saving their teacher and celebrate together. However, the army decides to accelerate its plan, taking advantage of the creature being alone in the classroom. They trap it in the school using a large enclosure made of a rare material it cannot escape from. The students are taken to a secret military camp to prevent them from attempting a rescue. The students are shocked and try to convince the authorities that they have found a cure to save the creature from exploding. No one believes them, arguing that even a 1% chance of the creature exploding is too great a risk for Earth. A representative reveals that they were merely being used to buy time and ensure the creature remained under observation. He informs them that world leaders unanimously agreed to destroy the creature and leaves them feeling defeated. The students, however, refuse to give up. They devise a plan to escape the prison they are held in. At night, they stage a fake explosion and pretend to be injured and unconscious. When the soldiers come to check on them, the students seize the opportunity to overpower them, taking their weapons and attempting to escape. At the exit, they find the representative waiting for them. Initially, they think he will report them, but to their surprise, he encourages them, saying he always believed they wouldn't abandon their teacher. He delays the activation of the laser and urges them to save the creature before it's too late, allowing them to escape. The students are moved by his words and promise to succeed in their mission. They rush to the school, only to find a large number of soldiers guarding it. Realizing they cannot get in undetected, a skilled teacher appears, announcing her intention to destroy the creature herself, but deciding to trust the students instead. She calls it their graduation gift and distracts the soldiers with an RPG, giving the students a chance to risk their lives and enter the school. Inside, they fight the soldiers and, through teamwork, manage to defeat them all, surprising the soldiers with their strength and proving they are no ordinary students. The news reaches the army, and they discover the representative helped the students escape. They strip him of his authority and detain him for questioning. Meanwhile, the students reach the classroom and find the creature waiting for them, cleaning the room as it was confident they would return. They tell it about the cure, and it is deeply moved by their efforts. It drinks the cure and thanks them, but explains it cannot escape the school due to the barrier. It asks to spend its remaining time with them and presents them with graduation certificates it prepared. Suddenly, the mad scientist enters the classroom, determined to kill the creature himself. The students try to stop him, revealing they have already created the cure. But he laughs, saying the data they retrieved was fake and the creature will die regardless. He attacks the creature, having transformed himself into a monster by repeatedly using the same material that created the creature. He knows the creature's weakness is its students and targets them, forcing the creature to shield them and suffer a severe injury. The scientist takes advantage of the creature's weakened state, attacking it relentlessly and causing massive destruction. The students watch in shock, feeling powerless to help their teacher. However, the old teacher cannot hold back and rushes to protect the creature, asking it to escape while she holds off the scientist. The scientist attacks her, injuring her gravely. The creature embraces her, unable to believe she risked her life to save it. She apologizes for trying to take revenge on it in the past and asks for its forgiveness before losing consciousness. The scientist mocks her sacrifice, calling her foolish for risking her life for a strange being. Enraged, the creature vows to make him regret his actions. It transforms, turning black, and unleashes all its power, obliterating the scientist completely. Afterward, the creature reassures the students it will not let their teacher die in front of them, as her sister once did. It decides to sacrifice its life to heal her, successfully restoring her to life. The students rush to her side to ensure she is okay. Meanwhile, the creature collapses from exhaustion, having lost all its strength. It tells the students to take advantage of its weakened state to turn it in and claim the reward. They refuse, but it insists, saying it will die regardless, whether by the laser or in a year. It urges them to seize the opportunity, and they realize that this is the best solution so that I don't feel pain. And at the same time, you benefit and take the reward that's on my head. The students are forced to listen to him, and they all approach him together and hold him to fulfill his last wish. It's as if he's smiling, saying, I'm happy with you because you've grown up and become responsible. Now I can die feeling reassured about you. The student who had no dream approaches him and is forced to finish him off himself to relieve him of the pain he was feeling. He cries and breaks down, thanking the being, who says to him, Congratulations on graduating, my best student. A large burst of light energy emerges from him, and he disappears in front of them, evaporating, leaving behind only his teaching clothes. They realize that he's truly gone, and his signal disappears from the army's radar. They know that the students succeeded in the mission and managed to defeat the being. After that, the student who finished off the being realizes what he wants to become after graduation. He decides to become a teacher like the being. Years pass, and he goes to teach the failing, outcast students in the same classroom from which he graduated. But when they see him, they think he's weak, and they keep mocking and bullying him for his appearance, even threatening to finish him off. Suddenly, his personality changes, embodying зрение. Его личность меняется, воплощаясь в образ его характера. И он начинает говорить точно так же, как его учитель. He begins fighting them, breaking their bones, knocking them to the ground, and wiping the floor with them. He makes them realize their potential and challenges them to try to defeat him throughout the semester. This way, the student finds his purpose and decides to become a teacher for the failing, outcast students to help them achieve their dreams, just as he achieved his. And with that, don't forget